Okay, this problem is really similar to the other ones we've been looking at. So it's asking us to rate an equation for the line of best fit. This is not breaking down all the steps as much as we've been doing so far. So let's follow along here. My first step is to find m, which is going to be y minus y over x minus x. So I'm already giving you one of those coordinates. So we're looking at 620. And then to find our other coordinate, again, we're looking for a good lattice point. I'm liking this point 2, 120 as our other point. So we have xy, xy. So to find m, I'm going to do y minus y. 120 minus 20. If 120 goes first, this 2 is going to go first. So 2 minus 6. 120 minus 20 is 100. 2 minus 6 is negative 4. This makes sense. We have a positive and negative. It should end up being a negative slope. When I simplify that, I get negative 25. So that's what m equals. M equals negative 25. To be able to find our equation, though, I'm going to have to plug into y equals mx plus b. So instead of m, I know I'll be putting negative 25. My options for x and y, there's a few of them. I'm going to, let's see. I like the number 2, so let's use this coordinate 2, 120. Remember, x multiplies m, and then the 120 is going to go over here. And then plus b, because b is what I'm solving for. Negative 25 times 2 is negative 50. And then 120 over here, add that 50 so that b gets left by itself. And I get 170 equals b. So y equals blank x plus blank is the way I always teach it. So we're plugging in for m, we're plugging in for b. Our m was negative 25, and the b I found was 170. It's asking what does the slope represent? That's my m. My slope represents, let's think about my y and x. So if y is our kilometers and x is hours, and we have negative 25 over 1, that means that we're 25 kilometers to home each hour. And then what does the y-intercept represent? Y-intercept, that's our starting point. So our y-intercept is happening at 170. That's what that point was there. So he started 170 kilometers from home. Our next set here is asking us to make that prediction. So it says Mr. Schneider expects to have 70, and that should say kilometers, remaining in his ride after 3 hours. Is this prediction reasonable? So what I can do is either plug in 70 for y, because kilometers is my y, or 3 for x to my equation. So remember that equation we're using is y equals negative 25x plus 170. I'm going to plug in the 3 for x, so y equals negative 25 times 3 plus 170. Negative 25 times 3 is negative 75 plus 170. So when I do that, that's 170 minus 75, and that's going to give me 95. So he predicted 75 kilometers. What I'm finding is that he'll have 95 kilometers. So if we're going to have to change this to say that his expectation is not reasonable because he'll have been about 95 kilometers.